and gets over here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully we're live. We're about to find out. Oh. Did it do it again? No, wait. Yeah, we're live. Oh, welcome, chat. Sorry, sometimes I can't tell with this thing. It's like flipping a coin. It's like Two-Face from Batman. But you no, that's probably an explanation. The relationship when it comes to the communication of the network between Sony and YouTube. When you start streaming as like Two-Face and Batman. I will flip a coin, my man, and see if this works today. You flip it enough, it'll end up on heads, essentially. This is why I just restart. But soon, chat, soon. Alright, wow. Let us get back into this. We're gonna, of course, give everyone time to join as always. Welcome, Foster. Wait, War Thunder bamboozled me today. They showed off modern infantry combat yesterday and smacked us with World War One tanks today. That's actually kind of. I'm not gonna lie, I do really like World War One tanks though. That would be an interesting take since they don't technically have that totally. Like they have some technically in the very tier ones and all that, right? But like some of the big boys of World War One tanks, that'd be an interesting concept. I think that's interesting. I kind of you realize it's April, right? I don't know if anyone's picked up on this yet, but you know what happens in April. You were fooled, Fassia. Oh man, I just it's just funny because I when you think about how old April Fools is, even back when I was young when it was going on, and the different ways that people try to do it to fool people today because it's all kinds of different things, right? I forgot I forgot how insane it was at sometimes. But yeah, I most this is also when technically they do all their crazy little events and gimmicky things like that must be what the World War One thing is. Um, haven't seen what everybody else's is yet. I don't think Mech Warrior does this, do they? No, I don't think they do. Don't know if Gundam will do it. I haven't been really paying attention much to there because but that game is only fun because here's the issue with that game is it's just fun because of the grind slightly, which is good to an extent if the gameplay didn't kind of drop off and get kind of I don't know. I'm not trying to say bad about it because I do like the game. I played it for a few years, but I want to say slightly dull or in the nicest way or almost monodrome. Like you get into too much of an instinct to the point you're not really playing the game anymore, and that's kind of why I got out of it. But that's why I'm excited more about Mecha Break style way of doing things and playing it more. And I have a little an arcadey one that I play that's not Mech Warrior as well. Mech Warrior's always there for me, but when it comes to that list, but there's also a console one now that was released. It was used to be a phone game. It still kind of got semi phone game behavior, which compared to most is actually pretty decent. You can earn quite a bit just playing the game yourself. You just compared to most phone games where it's like you earn like You can play the game for like 20 hours and earn like 1% of what you should have. Whereas in this game, it feels like it's more of an even Stevens. It does want you to put in the work, meaning you got to do your dailies and weeklies, like most games like that do, if you're going to play a multiplayer game like that style. But it doesn't choke you at the throat. And Gundam was good at this too. It was still took a little longer than I'd like to get tokens. I usually had to play for about 2-3 weeks straight just to get a straight 30 pack or for to prepare for bigger events. Now, bigger events, I think that they were a little too extreme for Gundam. I think they were asking a little too much of most average gamers and players that play that game. Or going to keep that game going to keep enough bodies out there in the lobbies. That's what a lot of games don't realize until it's too late, that you can't shoot completely cut out the average Gundam pilot or the average mech warrior or whatever too hard, because and what I mean by average is within the hardcore domain of gaming, because there is still different levels. So if you cut them out too hard, that's what tends to kill games, right? That tends to what happened to Mordhau. That's why Mordhau, in my opinion, slightly died off. And why Chivalry 2 is better, but I do wonder how long it will last. It's a great game. Its mechanics are what keep it going. It's just such a fun game to play because its sword fighting mechanics are so good that you can kind of fight even cheesy people cheesing it and stuff like that, to the point of it makes the game fun. That's my issue. And also one last thing I want to say, because I'm giving time. By the way, we're chilling until give everyone a chance to join up. Then we'll fully start in. But I also think that's also Gundam's slight problem is the gameplay is too much into stun lock comboing. Is what I guess it's kind of like a fighting game, right? I'm gonna look at it with a fighting game standpoint instead of a third person. Even though it's a third person, this is also why I think it's a little too jank for this, and why it doesn't slightly work in some cases. Is it plays too much into the combo stun, know which one of your moves do certain things, and that's fun to a certain extent. But in a third person hack and slash shooter, that's also a competitive game, when you're playing with just randoms, you're gonna have half the time. Now, if you have a squad, it's a different feeling. I'm gonna say that now, right out the gate, honestly, for the game, and this is for most multiplayer games in general. And that's why I can't give it all the merits on this. But I will say, if you have enough people to play it together with, sadly, me and James were the only ones who really played Gundam regularly and kind of got good enough at it to understand the mechanics and how the fighting slash hack and slash shooter game that it is, plus gotcha game. Because even though it's loot box type things, it is technically a gotcha game. Because it is about trying to roll for the Gundams and getting different mobile suits and da da da. So it is still technically what it is. Um, which I have nothing against if the game is good. I've played plenty of gotcha games that are really fun to play, that have such good gameplay loops and gameplay that, yeah, I'm fine with willing to spend my time on them for a while. And that's also once again kind of why I got out of Gundam, because the loop just got kind of bland after a while. And with how much they ask you work out of you if you're not going to just pay for it straight up to do any of the major events to guarantee a Gundam that you're going for or mobile suit, was a little quite expensive. And it's like, and then once again, I if I saved up money and planned ahead of time, I could easily afford this. But this is not the point. The point is, I also weigh it because I am a lot more careful with my money, and I'm not rich or anybody means nowhere near close. But I have at least comfortable money if I know how to, save it, that I could pay for these higher expenditures. But most average pilots are not going to be able to do this. Uh, and most players are not going to be able to do this in most games. And this is what a lot of developers in these situations kind of forget. That you kind of and they do have decent discount times as well. That is also something I have to give it merit for. It's just the in between is such a droll, because it's the gameplay really at the end of the day. All the rest of it can be stay the same if they just made the gameplay a little more exciting, engaging, give more things than just fighting each other and combat and the combos. It's like that's fun, but all it really has at the end of the day is capture the points, destroy the other mobile suits, maybe destroy a HQ if your team is good enough to push and lock down the team. Maybe. It depends. Sometimes you get one of those teams where you end up with a squad who's basically only one man short, and you're just kind of adding in. Those are the ones I always like to get because those, since I'm a very apt player and I'm generally on my own, really good in 1v1s, I was able to kind of fill in that missing, just I'm the random hiree rookie guy that just hired for a day. But yeah, the Amuro of the group. The random kid who just ended up with a gun and somehow beat a well trained warrior. Sorry, I'll never let that down. Poor Shaw. But anyways, that game, like I said, the game itself is not necessarily made bad or anything like that. It's just the gameplay is, I think it's outlived its age to the point of, during its time, it was revolutionary. But I do think that they need an engine up there. But that doesn't mean a new game either. This is something else I want to suggest to most developers is like, if you have no choice, you need to understand you can't jip your players. This is a reference to something else out of what they already have. So if you ever have to upgrade, make sure you compensate for the players who've been around for years playing your game. I do mean years, because some players do. It's like, and that's a really good way to do that. Some other games did not do this, and I just, well, sorry to them, I guess. I'm never going to support that product again because it's like I think that's a bit jippy, and then cut the service of the original game because you want people to go over to this one and pay the new prices. We're not gonna say who that is, but we all probably know who that might be when it comes to multiplayer realms. Um, but yeah, all in all, because that's more about what I'm going to more talk about and focus on is the improvement of games that are willing to haven't done this yet. That might be advice towards what they could do to make their game a complete success and changeover. So, but yeah, it's crazy. See, Bannerlord multiplayer is interesting because nothing is really strong like you can be a guard with a long sword and bam, one tap by a lance from a knight who will also get one shot by a pike. I mean, I guess. I mean, I get that that's a good rock, scissors, paper situation. If I could ever remember the name of that multiplayer game that I played on PC for a while, that's medieval. It's not just knights. It's got like samurai builds. Got like I forget all of those. There's like Celtic builds. Like like a Highlander type build. Kind of like it was a mixture between what it seemed like, kind of like what For Honor played like, but mixed with a strategy game where you get a squad of units that you can also equip on you, that you command and try to help with the battlefield and fight other units. Here's another good example of a game I do know the name of. It played like the war the 100-Year War game that was made by Koei, who made Dynasty Warriors. We could send out your units. Um, it plays a lot like that, but mixed with For Honor. Cannot remember the name of it though. But it kind of plays a lot like that too, where certain things are just hard counters to certain things. So this creates a loot kind of situation, which this works. But here's another issue that plays into why that can lead to, I don't want to say bad taste, I'm gonna say a almost to a instinct to where you start playing the game in a certain way, you get your class and you only play that, and then when you try to mix it up, it becomes almost unruly to play. And I don't mean this from a bad gameplay perspective. I mean just almost from a you have to take so much time to learn where your position is in the loop with a new unit. I This is what I had to start learning how to do if you want to play different. Here's the opposite spectrum. That the first spectrum was from a player who's not too great at the game, who's just average, who just wants to play a sword fighting game. That makes it a little hard on them because they either have to land lock into one thing and never change and be okay with this, or they're going to probably lose their taste of the game pretty quickly once they ever try to change. They realize how hard it's going to be to relearn and do something. Now, from the player who commits and just hardcore crazy and doesn't care about that, and is slightly maybe a mask slightly, so he deals with the pain more in games probably more than some would. Uh, the issue that comes in the other spectrum is it comes into Gundam's play at some point where once you do it so much and you understand it instinctually, you stop trying to play the game and you let it happen. And then it becomes less fun because you're not trying to. It's a weird way thing to understand and explain psychologically for a hardcore gamer, because also when if you have ADHD, in my case, it makes it even worse. Um, Once something becomes fully understood, and this actually is something even not outside of gaming, this also is what creates a learning disability in most ADHD or ADD cases, is it's the repetition. Once it hits that point of being done and we understand it, we can't go, I need to do this again, 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 again. It's just why, even though I enjoy playing them to a certain extent, and this is nothing on the game itself, really. Even certain gotcha games I can't play but for so long. The reason why for this is if I can't find a place to lock my OCD into place, because that's also something pretty common with most ADHD, but mine's a bit of a clash. Because most of the time the OCD is only a slight, because it's what it's called is almost like a fringe that's created from the mental part of your brain doing this. Because ADHD is almost even an obsession in its own with jumping around, especially that since that version is the more hyper one. As you can't tell. Uh, Also likes to talk. That don't explain a lot. But the other thing that plays into it is I have like a full set OCD. This is why strategy games are so good for me, because even though I can change factions and I have to learn something new, strategies are very specific. They require almost order of operations in some cases, depending on the faction you're playing once you learn what it is. So this kind of treats my OCD to be more powerful than my ADHD, and this is why you always see me come back to Warhammer. Or Total War is more of a good example in general. It's one of my main strategies. Stellaris as well, but I do take breaks from it just because playing the AI is not the same as playing with like James or something like that. This is also why you don't see me do too much Total War on my own anymore either. I have kind of ruled them out to be more of I play them when I either need something to just dive my head into some technical stuff, or I rule them in. These are my main multiplayer games I prefer to play with my friends when we're not doing like the other stuff, like shooters or more specific stuff, like survival or whatever, or something like that. Like a certain something that eventually will be revived sometime this year. We're just haven't between everything that's gone on my end, and he's always got work, and it makes what he's got to do unpredictable a lot. It's hard for him to get stuff organized on his end, since a certain mad lad is in control of something, that the certain thing that I'm talking about, it is going to be his. It's going to be his baby. I'm going to be participating in it and creating my creations in it, but it is his baby. But so more shout out to him in that case. But when we get it organized, we'll sometimes we'll be able to do it this year. I'm hoping to get my computer upgraded. But no, that won't really affect that because that game is beautiful at running on anything, and even with mods. So that won't be too much of a problem at least. But I am hoping that before we do that, but if it don't happen that way, it doesn't happen that way. It's not like it once again it affects it. I could go and upgrade my computer, come right back to the world, and nothing has really changed because once again, this will be through the Mad Lad, so he will be the one hosting it. So, but let's see. We're about to start here soon. I just want to get plenty of ample time, everyone to join up on this part. Let's see. Cataphract players are the worst to fight against. The most amount of armor of any class. That makes sense. Longest freaking lance. Secondary weapon is a shield and a mace. Yeah, I heard about that. That's actually a class that's kind of similar in that other game I mentioned. It plays a little bit like For Honor. It's really strong. Also, if you put it with a knight unit that actually is cavalry based, God, they're annoying. But to be fair, in that other game, once again, it is rock, scissors, paper. A good set of spears, which I quickly started with first when I started playing that game. I decided, okay, the Cav were a bit rampant when I played that game. I sadly can't remember the name of. I'll look up the name that in between this stream and next stream on my Steam and tell you what it is. But cause it's on my Steam. I haven't gone back to it. Maybe I will one day. But I kind of want to get James into that game if I ever go back to it because I want someone to play that game with. Because that's another one of those games that I'd have more fun. I probably got kicked out my clan. I actually played. This shows you how much I played that game for a while. I went like whole like clan level. Like I was a part of a major faction that was taking over part of the map in this game. We were insane. But my inactivity probably got me booted out. That's usually how most of those things work. I think it's a little silly. Demoted's fine because then you can give that spot to someone else who plays. But kicking someone else out, I think, is a little extreme in my opinion. But I get that maybe they needed the server space, but most of those server types in those older games have like infinite numbers you can have in your like clan. And I feel like just having bodies, even if not all the bodies are fully active, almost in a talking about like competitive play, in a way, having more bodies in your faction gives the illusion to your enemy that you technically have more. It's actually a real life strategy, technically. But even video game, you know, conflicts play a role. No, but seriously though, like those kind of things, like that's kind of why they do that. But it's like I do think that kicking out fully is silly in most men's fight. This is why when I create clans, even though I'm not one of those hardcore clan leaders anymore, that who's gonna create his clan, let it bring his clan to like thousands of people or hundreds of, or depending on the game, hundreds of people. It's I don't know. It's one of those things. I would have to be like the only. I'm trying to think what game would make me do this. Is there a game realistically, if it was done right? Because here's the thing: there's no multiplayer game that's ever allured me enough, even in the old days, to kind of want to commit to it that hard, like some people have in the past. It's like I get the allure, but it would to some people. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like when you commit to one game for many many years before you ever play other games. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's like it's just I don't know. But my brain just once again it plays into that weakness of my. Well, I say weakness, the strength and weakness because it's made me a good versatile gamer, meaning I can kind of play any game. To be fair, because of that, is being not being able to stick fully to one game for too long. Like I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure War Thunder still holds. It's either Gundam or War Thunder. I'm pretty sure it's still War Thunder. Still holds the highest committed number I've ever given to a game, and this is including games that are not on my PS5 list. This is including PC as well, and games that I played years ago. I'm including like Final Fantasy Online in this, and the medieval game or the sword fighting game that plays like For Honor but with strategy elements to it, commanding units and stuff. Um, you know what? It plays like Bannerlord mixed with For Honor. That's what I should say. I don't know why I keep forgetting that Bannerlord has units. I'm an idiot sometimes. I swear. It's that distraction and slow on the uptake it causes sometimes. Either way, point being is that yeah, that game included a bunch of games I've had from my years ago. I still think War Thunder has the highest number, but even then, even it didn't drive me to fully. I created a clan, but to push the clan, right? To do like you would do if you were gonna create an actual clan for competitive play, and this is all the game you're gonna play. You're not gonna play any other games. You're just gonna play this and go that insane, like hardcore level of it. I'm trying to think, is there a game that could cause me to do this? Yes, but I don't know if it ever would have multiplayer. Technically, Mecha Break. Actually, hold on. I want to say there is one game that could potentially do it that exists now. There's one game that would guarantee my life soul and change, but it would have to be perfect. Like, it would have to be exactly how I think it would be if it was made fair, but made realistically and had engaging good objectives and also fit into the universe it belongs to. Now, this is for the one that would guarantee it. We'll say that one in a minute. Well, y'all probably know what it is because I was talking about it on the channel. And if this game ever gets remade, even as a single player game, you think Metal Gear Solid is guaranteed on this channel. If a certain game ever, because it didn't get, here's the weird thing, its second game got a mini remake, one of those where they upgrade the resolution, but it's still an old game. I'm going to go ahead and start loading in because we're about to be over our time to be able to talk before, to let everyone join. Gives everyone time to, for the notifications to go out late, and people who may not be, who join later during the stream to have a chance to join earlier, and they won't miss as much when I do this. So, but that being said, before I start, let me get in here, click this. Jackal Stronghold, yeah. So we gotta use Amon Ra first. So we'll be getting the second Osiris piece, and then we'll see if we can do the third one today. If we can't do the third one today, we'll save it for another episode. Well, if we can only do the one today, we'll see. But before I click this, because it will start the cutscene, Mecha Break is an existing game, right? We know this game. I love this game. I'm already slightly inclined on her, just a bit. I have not been showing it much because I'm trying to keep myself from diving fully into the rabbit hole yet. Because I know when I do, I will. Because I know when a game has slightly intrigued me enough to try this, to see how long that rabbit hole lasts. Gundam did that when it first got my attention. But will it keep it is the question. And it's not a necessary guarantee, but it has potential to become one of those games for me in life, depending on where it happens and when it happens and when we start it. Because here's the other thing I've noticed, and I'm becoming this way with my channel slightly, I've noticed a lot of it when a hardcore multiplayer kicks in to any streamer or someone who wants to do this type of game. Finally, finds one that they like, and I'm not saying that's Mecha Break yet. If it does do the right things, I'm already kind of leaning towards the only games that will be done in the background will be story games at that point for a while. And things like what I'm already going to do. I'm already going to do Metal Gear Solid. I'm already going to do Dark Ages. We already know what that is. I am very excited. I'm already going to do Death Stranding too. That's guaranteed now. Wanted to say that out loud because I don't know if that people realize that was going to happen now. we are going to do something special coming up soon once this game is done. That will be taking its place to finish what we started before the other one hits. Because I think it's first. Because I'm pretty sure Dark Ages is. I'm not sure the exact order. Don't quote me on this, but I'm still pretty sure it's first before any of these. It's either it's Stranding 2, then Dark Ages, then MGS, or it's Dark Ages and MGS are in for first roles. I just can't remember who's second. I'm pretty sure Stranding 2 is first, though, out of all the games I care about. Now, originally Monster Hunter was on this list. Now, it's not off the list by any means necessarily. I'm playing that one by ear. I'm letting my waters like slowly shift that way and letting it happen naturally because I'm not going to force it. But I am getting that want to play it again. So it will have a place somewhere, at least for a bit. It will also be technically, at least for a while. I won't be pushing a clan on that game. It won't ever get too in stream because there's a limit Monster Hunters always reach anyways that they just can't add anymore. So they always kind of eventually teeter off anyways. So I don't really commit to those in that kind of way, except for my own making my character a godlike hunter kind of thing. But I am shifting slowly towards that one because that game is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster if I go back to it too soon. Which I'm pretty sure I'd be okay. It's just there might be a few streams where I look a little off, and that's because my brain's trying to. It's adoring its memories, but it's also slightly mourning again. So because a certain character will be permanently reminding me, just like last time. I swear that game is cursed. I swear it gets unlucky with me. I don't know why. I mean, because that's why I like that game because it allows me to have this little Palico companion. So, uh, which is very like I do, like I kind of have most of my life in real life. So, yeah. So that game will slowly seep back in, but it's not gone anywhere and it's not being removed by any means. It will play. We will play it whenever I get the chance and whenever I decide to try dive back in. But but these are all the guaranteed stuff. But back to the one final thing I want to say about the Mecha Break thing. It does have potential because it is the closest thing to the game that if it did everything perfectly with a multiplayer version of it, I'm not saying it should, by the way. I would prefer it to stay single player, and I would prefer it to just be remade. That alone will finish off what we started. It's like I am hoping and that's happening as well. But if it had done something perfect or was like Mecha Break what it is and continued to know how to understand its own universe and what expanding really means, because that's why they run out of ideas because they try to force it too hard. I think in most cases with games like that, and then they end up hitting a wall they can't get past. Um, that would definitely guarantee me, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that game with Mecha Break. And as far as the remake is concerned for this game that I want remade as a single player game, I'm waiting for the trailer for the day it drops. It's I anticipate that even though I can't guarantee that's even a thing sadly compared to like I know there's going to be a Resident Evil some kind of trailer for a game at some point. I know that's going to happen at some point. And then there's other guarantees of course, but for Zone of the Enders, I really hope it gets a single player. It gets a proper redo, kind of like Metal Gear Solid 3 got. But for Zone of the Enders 1, not the second runner, 1. Zone of the Enders 1 was a masterpiece. And it sits in a very special place in my heart, like certain bands and old music from my young childhood that helped make me into who I am today. And also Jehudi, that's how you say his name properly, even though I changed his name when I was a kid. Uh, inspired me onto my robotics, to be fair. Like, it was the first robot game I ever really played, and I fell in love with that game. So, if that game ever gets remade, yeah, that game, it would it would take a meteor to hit me in the face to stop me from playing that game. Especially if they give it the same treatment they did with Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's the same story, everything, same characters, everything's the same. It's just better looking and just been made to be better than it was ever was. But they didn't mess with the core of it. Like, the core of it stayed the same, but they just gave it everything else it didn't get to have. That would that game that even as a single player game, that game would eat, like, almost on a Dark Souls level. That game would eat up my time entirely. The only thing that would fight me out of that game would me being do it with me be doing co-ops with James and Tam King and other and Lamito and everybody and Darius. Otherwise, yeah, guess what the single player game is gonna be every time. Oh man, at least until we beat it, uh, and do certain things that I did when I was young, and basically get to show you what I did when I was young and relive little odd not. If that ever happens, that's a big if. Once again, this is not. Who knows? The only inkling I have towards maybe that we could get something like this eventually is that they didn't release a ported version of the original Zone of the Enders from PS4. Like, it technically was PS2, PS3. I think it was PS2, something like that. Um, but they remade like an upgraded remastered edition. Basically, it's the same game just with higher resolution and looks better, but it's the same older models. Da da da. It's the same game, but just better and not as grainy and on better higher definition. Um, but that game didn't get a PS5 redo like Second Runner did, and it makes me wonder. Sometimes when they do this, and because they did one for the PS4, it makes me wonder. There's no way they lost the IP. That'd be impossible, right? It's like it's like just because they already did one. So part of me wonders, maybe they did that on purpose because maybe the next plan is maybe there will be a remake for ZOE1, and it will hopefully stick, just like MGS3 did. Hear me now, Konami. Stick to the original script of what it was and the characters and the core base of what that universe was and how the characters' personalities were and everything. Everything else you can change what you want, just like how you added stuff into MGS3. Just please keep everything else the same, and that game will be just as good as the MGS3 thing is. So, and we're doing that too. That's also a guarantee. But yeah. Or not. You just reminded me of that one time I saw a cataphract player find a glaive and went 174 in a full invasion lobby. Also, front mission has a manga. Oh, really? Yes, that's good. I mean, I'm glad to hear that because that means that won't die off ever. That also means Front Mission 3's re-release. I don't need that to be remade as much, but I do. I hope it gets what Front Mission 1 and Front Mission 2 got, right? The game we played on the channel, which I haven't forgotten about Front Mission 2, by the way. I have not. I just, once again, that ADHD can be a. So, I have not forgotten it. We will be going back at some point and finishing that as well. I might save that for when we do some more mech stuff and probably when I fully dive in. I'm kind of saving it for when I dive down the rabbit hole with Mecha Break because then that would make sense to have that in the background because it's all mechs and keep me in that mech mode. Might do some Mech Warrior or whatever at that point, depending on what the cards pertain. But it'll mostly be Mecha Break for the main multiplayer one. But we don't see all the guns or fights in the game. No, we do not. No, we do not. Well, we see a hold on. We see a pixel or what do you call it? I don't know what it'd be called now because it's not pixel anymore. We see a 3D rendition of a bunch of mechs shooting at each other, and then some random fake 3D building blows up, and we don't realize that was bad. Like in the actual universe of the front mission universe, that should no, that's bad. Especially when the crazy pilots just don't care to. Like they just start whopping and then just flying through buildings. Just okay, so I'm like, bruh. Even the Mech Warrior universe, even though that they do this too to a certain extent, and depending on also which faction. At least in most cases where those are deployed, they're on like crazy, weird, more fringy front lines. Now, when the spear wars are going on and stuff like that, that's a little different. But that's why the urban mech was at least somewhat safer because it wasn't too overpowered, wasn't too fast to go through, tumbling through buildings, had firepower just enough to take out the target. Then we were like, nah, Atlases. Sorry, that was the other Mech Warrior universe. But yeah, but same, sadly, same principle in Wanzers. Wanzers is the same way, if not worse, because Wanzers, technically, Wanzers are more unreal. They're more towards Gundam's universe type of movement, unlike Mech Warrior. So their movement is way more overpowered and over the top kind of situation. Like way more over the top and way more overpowered kind of situation of how they move and how they like dive and attack and shoot and stuff. Like they can do dodge rolls, and I'm like, so imagine the force behind this. They're closer to like Pacific Rim if you really want to talk about it than anything, kind of like that's like a good in between. It's like so they're way more devastating then, if that's the case. We've seen what happens in Pacific Rim when one of the monsters gets into the city. That's literally the same scale of damage that the Wanzers are causing, but these are humans versus humans in this universe. Because when it's coming to just story related stuff, in a way, technically the best kind of monster is the human one. Because those are when it comes to drama or dark stories being written and stuff like that, for like lore and stuff, um, that technically is the scariest. So one Wanzer had oh yeah. Well, that depends on the clan suit. Those are probably here's another thing that doesn't get shown in the. And this is something that's interesting, right? We get a very vague representation of this, and I want to point out in two, right? Not what you're talking about, but it's in the same realm because beyond that's even worse, right? So remember the resistance group that James's character is working for. I forget the guy's name. In our episode before we start this, in that one episode, his resistance group is basically a rebel group, but they're also somewhat something else as well. Once again, the game does a little bit of a good way of it showing what it technically is. Because I actually think that now that we're understanding what the difference, or at least some are, we're understanding the difference between reality and just made up stuff. Like it's in reality, yeah, that's you don't want any of that. That's terrible stuff. You don't do that, no. But as far as fake universes are concerned and things that aren't real, it's like we need to remember like that's kind of why certain stories do well. And I think this is also why Front Mission 3 was better because even though it's still tame compared to the mangas, Front Mission 3 had a lot more drama and some terrible things happened in that one. Now, once again, you don't get to see the craziness of the actual damage that did occur, but it at least portrays in voice and in story and writing and in the character's reaction and and the little 2D painted silhouette models of each of them to kind of show you how bad that really was. And then your main character, like um he gets really messed up at one point and stuff like that. Plus y'all witness some terrible things happen from the I forget what the other, I think it's the OCU is what they're called in that faction that you're against. You start with them, but you end up finding out something bad, and they're trying to. I think that's when the Midas project was created. So they're trying to create like the Midas program or something, and it's like a giant. It's basically Metal Gear. It's a giant Wanzer with a warhead launcher basically on. It's essentially a Metal Gear to compare it to another universe. To show you, I have certain preferences in games. I always have. Kind of they tie even when I don't realize together, and many things. There's so many things I've played now and went back and realized, God, that makes so much sense now. See, also there are war reporters in Front Mission who interview Wanzer pilots from both sides. Yeah, that's true. Although that's the real thing. This is why I think the if Front Mission ever wants to make another game, and this is my suggestion to, I think it's Square Enix that does that, right? Isn't it? I think it is. Either way, the developer needs to kind of, or publisher as well, needs to kind of embrace the manga a little bit better. Because I do think that game, and they did this with it. Here's what's weird, right? They did this one time, but they did it in the wrong way, in my opinion. They embraced it, but they embraced it in a type of gameplay that Front Mission is not known for. And I think this hurt a lot of its original fans that no one even knew it was a good game. And I mean, the story itself is actually pretty decent. And just from a war political story type, like, I know not everyone's into that kind of thing, but from a political war standpoint or drama of people living in chaos, constant warfare of giant mechanized machines and terribleness, I forget what it's called. It's that shooter Front Mission game that was made. And I wish it did better just because it probably hurt the series in general, but I do think it had the right concept, but it executed it in the wrong way. It should have just still been a turn-based strategy game with modern graphics, and because then they could have shown the damage to the suit more, pieces hanging off the suit, and still kept that gritty and darkness that game embraced. That game embraced what the manga universe was like and showed how bad it really can get. But once again, the gameplay was kind of lackluster by quite a lot. So it kind of killed it probably in a way. So because plus all the original hardcore players of Front Mission who's always played it as a strategy game looked at that game immediately, probably didn't even see that the story was good, and was like, nah, I ain't playing no shooter. I liked it when it was a turn based strategy. So immediately you already lose consumers. And I'm calling it that because a lot of these companies need to remember if you want to keep the ones who are paying for the game, remember what the game was. If you want to make a new game, make a new game. That's fine. But don't take an existing IP and just try to turn it into something it wasn't. That's when even a good game can be. But either way. But I think we've talked long enough. I think we've had a cool little chat. It's time to get in here and rescue another piece of the King of Egypt, who's technically not Cetra, but Cetra's here in spirit. So, but so I think we've given enough time for everyone to join up. Should be good. Interview ones or brothers from both sides. Oh yeah, I already read it. The manga also shows the truth. Yeah. Well, I mean, any scale or any warfare type story and any type of game, movie, book, The scale is usually bigger than what it is, although books do a better job with scale. But that's because when you're writing it out, you can do more with writing in most cases than you can with shows and movies in cases like that. But can't visually do that, but the mind can do more when it comes to a book. But manga's too, technically, to a certain extent, especially if you like to draw and do art. But alright, Chad, let's get in here and stop Kemsat for his island fortress and rescue Osiris.
Is that the place?
Yes, Kemset's stronghold. The piece is inside. Are the men prepared?
Yes, Amandra.
Good. If Kemset is there, no one is to touch him but me.
Ooh,
The
okay.
farmers must be weary of their island neighbor. Perhaps they will help us.
So we have to go
Gereg.
rescue a village who will help us in our
Ak.
conflict. Actually, hold on, let's explore a little bit. I don't do this enough in the beginning with this type of little map. Because that's where all like the relics and stuff end up being hidden, or in like corners. This will also show me what resources, like right there.
Ak.
We can take this out real quick.
Act 2. Irefer.
See, that's why. What is that? Infantry train faster. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Now, sadly, she's our only hero, right? Yeah, so we're gonna need to get a Pharaoh to carry them back when we find any more. So let's just look around for them.
Ak.
Hey, elephant, how you doing?
Tayu. Irefer. Ak.
There's the village.
Irefer.
So this is the edge of the village.
Irefer. U-I-R.
Ah, there's another settlement right here.
Irefer.
Okay, ooh, in a temple. So I wonder if this is the one with the because that looks like Ra. So we're probably gonna get that one.
Ak.
So I wonder if when we meet them, they're gonna tell us about their settlement, or maybe we can immediately claim this if we're fast enough. That's why I wanted to look around. What's this way before we go into the village?
U-I-R.
Yeah, they've got quite a bit of a little establishment here.
Tayu. Irefer.
Oh, there's a river. Oh wow, there's a lot of settlement unabandoned, unacquired settlements out here.
Ak. Ia Arakter. Irefer. Tayu. Ak. Irefer. Tayu. U-I-R.
Ooh, a burned down one, okay.
Tayu.
Something happened over here.
Ak.
There's some red right there, I see that.
Irefer.
Oh, there's in the sea. There's another one.
Irefer. Tayu.
What's this one do? Myth units are cheaper.
Irefer. Tayu. U-I-R. Tayu.
It's what you call gaming the system slightly.
Irefer. Ak. Tayu.
Alright, so what we want to do is run over. Can we go around? Yeah, here.
Irefer. U-I-R.
This will allow us to see exactly what we're gonna get and what we're gonna be dealing with. And then that way we always know we need to come down here. So remember the pillars, chat. Remember the pillars. That's where the relic is. Where we will get cheaper myth units and be able to overwhelm. My brain malfunctioned right there.
Irefer. Ak.
Oh, do we have my favorite ability? Ah, we do. One of them anyways.
Irefer. Ak.
I can turn
Irefer.
one of my villages into a Midas citadel.
U-I-E. Irefer. Tai you.
Okay, she can't go in
Ak.
that way. She can go down
Irefer.
this way then.
Tai you.
Oh,
U-E-L. Irefer. Tai you. U-I-Ak. Irefer.
well, another
Tai
one?
you.
Yeah, it was this one. Eye of Horus. Town centers provide more population. Town center increases population cap by 4. Citadel center increases population cap by an additional 4.
U-I-R.
Nice.
Irefer.
Alright, now I think it's time to uncover, because I don't think we can
Ak.
get across this, right? No.
Tai you. Ak.
So that's a bigger river. We'd have to go through here to get there. And we're going to trigger it anyway, so
Tai
let's
you.
go.
Ak. Hear me, people of the Nile. I am a Manra, enemy of Kemset. Assist us, and we will end his pillaging of your lands.
We will help you visit the farmers to spread the good news,
Here,
Amanda.
Alright, good. So let's put you right here. I've got to
Tai
create me
you,
a little
you
building
E-L.
force immediately. And I think we have to go and get everyone to join us. Bring a Monra to Osiris's peace box. Optional. Bring a Monra to any allied buildings. Roger, roger.
Caillou.
So now let's claim the
Irefer.
rest of this.
Ak. Tai you.
This will keep us
Ak.
from having to build stuff.
Irefer. U-E-R. Ak.
Alright, we'll go over there. We need to go this
You
way first, 'cause I
E-L.
want to go grab this.
Irefer.
Or this temple, and we're going to give all this relic to the temple and get the other two. Okay, while that's happening, you're not quite ready yet.
Energetic. U-E-R.
Temple Ra.
Irefer. Tai you. Into you. U-E-R. Caillou.
Tayu, back to the pillars.
Ak.
You have recovered a canary jar. The new Pharaoh has come to lead the people. Good, good, good. He will come down here for now. Because our first goal is to build another town center here.
In wedge. Irefer. Tai you. Irefer. Tai you. U-E-R. Into you. Irefer.
Because this is going to be my fallback area. Alright, we got that.
Caillou.
Now I need to go get this other one while getting other
Tayu.
buildings along the way.
U-E-R.
We've gotten most of the ones over here, it seems. There's just some right here we have to come back for. Here, let's
Ak.
circle around.
U-E-R. Ak. Irefer.
Right there. I don't know where the attacking is going to come from. Could come from here. Could come from here, to be fair. So I think I'm going to set this one to be here on its own. No.
Inito tayo
Don't do that.
ak
I need you to build my brain. You need to build me a barracks back here
kids
for safety.
And you?
Okay. Alright.
In wedge ak
Let's go
tai
clear out this
irrefer.
red over here. And see what's over here.
Tai ak.
So we know it's not going to come from this direction, so it must be going to be attacked from here. So then we're going to need to bring our group up here at some point. Okay. Alright, let me reassign them now.
In a jirek.
In wedge.
Alright.
Inegerek irrefer.
No, not that way. Well,
Ak.
actually, yeah. We'll get
Irrefer.
through there.
Ak
Make sure I claim these two farms. Yep, got them.
tai you. You er.
Farms claimed, okay.
Ak irrefer.
So now we want to go and get the... Well, actually, we'll put the army
Tai
here.
you. Into you.
She's gonna go get this, because there's nothing up here.
Irrefer tai you.
Okay. Good, that's done for now.
Into you.
I need you guys to come build more defenses up here. Oh, we don't have... Oh, we're at our... Oh, no. We need more gold. Okay, I see what's going on. Okay. So, in that case... You're gonna go there, and you're gonna get me... 6. To work on gold.
Gireg.
You guys are gonna
Are
come
you-
up here.
UER.
'Cause that's enough for back there for now. Let me put
Direct.
you doing that so you make that faster. What is our age up? We need 1,200 gold. You must build the mid-gold stronghold. Okay. And what monument is that? Hold on. Oh, okay. No, we're good. Just the mid-goal. Alright. You three. Mining camp in the middle here, so you can get both quickly. Oh god, I can't aim.
Inage erect. In wedge. Bea.
Okay. That should get gold taken care of. We need farming over here. Oh no, we got farming there. Okay. So, we need 550. So I think what I need to do is first build one of these again. We need one for up here. Put it right there.
kids
We need one for the front lines.
Gereg. Ak.
Alright, bring this to the temple.
Tai you.
Alright. Alright, you need to set your waypoint there. Let's go ahead and get some spearmen out here. And a bunch of these. We want at least 8. We want to pile it on pretty early. Okay. Hopefully they don't know we're here and we get to do this at our own pace and we can just quickly build up without having to fight and worry about fighting. Okay, so you guys are there. How's the gold coming? Alright, now I need to get the good shaft upgrade. Y'all need to harvest that gold faster. I think we're gonna get 1 more on each.
Caillou. Irefer.
Alright, town centers support more population.
In wedge. U-E-R.
Alright, get back to the front, Amon Ra. Let's see. There we go. That requires age 4, but now we're getting the gold. Okay. So, back
Caillou.
to you. Nope. Wrong one.
In Gereg.
Wait for the gold.
Kid.
That. We need to claim all these town centers. We want to be as strong as possible. Plus, I'm going to make... Hold on. How many more are trained? Okay, good. That was it. Let me reset this army.
In wedge. Ak.
What was that?
You ak.
Oh.
Ia
Oh well.
atu.
Get rid of the Florida man. Sobek is not here.
Irefer. U-E-R. Tai you. Irefer. U-E-R.
Okay. And I think we need to create another gold mine over here. And maybe replace this granary and combine it with this one. Because we don't need these. I'm gonna get rid of these and move these. Because we don't need those around there. We can move those over here to safety. Create a little small co-farm right here because there's one already around the main one. Which is why I want to make it into a citadel. I think I'm going to make this one our citadel. With our power. So. Here we go. They're doing it again.
Gereg. Ak.
Guys, stop harvesting. I
Irefer.
admire your tenacity, but this is where our homes are going to be. This is going to be the houses.
Kid.
Okay, let's go ahead and at least get one more up. I also gotta see what else we can build. Okay,
Gereg.
so... we need a temple closer than the one we have.
Kid.
So that way we have myth units for the front line. Alright. Plus it'll give us another spot for relics. Okay, what upgrades need to be done here? Okay, we've got Crimson Linen. Sekhmet Sanguine rituals cause your myth units, especially scarabs, to regain hit points while attacking enemy units. Myth units lifesteal is for 20% of damage dealt by all actions against the unit. Scarab lifesteal for 60%. Give me that. Excuse me, yes, lifesteal is king here. We all know why. We all know, chat. We all know. Okay, I for some reason can't. Okay. Alright, well, I'll just do it this way then. We want 4 people worshipping at the temple. Actually, I should have put them back here because they'd be safer back here. I'll move them back here once they spawn. Actually, what we could do is cancel these.
Image erect.
You
By
come
you.
there. You summon the other 3. Because the Pharaoh's boosting that, so it'll be faster. He will be brought up here soon. Alright, I'm gonna also redo these farms positions, dear gosh. Once again, there's my OCD. It's like, no.
Entio. UER. By
No.
you.
No.
Ak. UER. Ak.
I guess that's just gather anything nearby. Huh. So this one's not being mad. We're gonna have to do it for all of these.
In which tayo you refer?
Gereg. Eu refer. Ak. UER. Eu refer. UER.
Because this is just insane. Plus, we can move it behind the citadel if we do it this way. Actually, maybe down here would be better. We'll leave these 3 because they're already there, but down here is definitely the better option.
Kid. Entio. Kid.
Inito. Kid.
Boom. And this can get that now. And that. Just to make sure we have it. Now we need to find wood. I feel like that's where our weakness is, right? Oh, there's some right here. Okay. So let's put a woodcutter right there. Let me grab my builder. It is much. It'd have to be right here. So, okay, then we'll put you here then. 4 people for now.
Image erect. Ak.
Oh, wait, that's right. They don't generate faith that way. Oops. That was a waste of population. So hold on then. Cancel that. Okay. We don't need that. You guys actually need to join him then. We'll just make you all woodcutters.
Kid. Kid.
I forgot that's a thing. Oh,
Crow
what's up here?
you.
Oh, whoa.
UER.
There's one up here. Human soldier vulnerability for ooh, makes them better at resisting pierce. Cool. Here. I'm gonna have him build a a secondary lumberjack right here just to clear this area out here. So we can clear the farm zone. Okay, let me grab her.
Ak.
Come here. I forgot that was a thing.
Entio.
We need a dock. Or another dock. We need one for this side.
Kid.
They do that.
Into you. Ak. Irefer.
Boom.
UER.
Okay. It has its relics now. Does it always have something inside of it? Yeah, it does. Okay.
tie you.
Alright, they are gathering the wood. Oh, he chopped down the wrong one, but that's okay.
In wedge.
Come help with him.
Chro ein yawit.
Because we want to clear this entire little zone out for more structures later if we need them. We won't probably need them, but I want them to always do that while gathering wood. Okay. Dock is
Image
good.
erect.
Next. We need a siege works for siege equipment.
Kid.
Back here is good. We need 4 priests. I always like that 4 for my army. Let's bring our Pharaoh up here now.
And you?
Alright, that's done.
Gireg.
What else? We need Midgall, but we need Faith, which we're not generating. Oh, right. Because I'm an idiot. I haven't built a... Wait, what does this one do? A small monument. Monuments generated. You must build smaller monuments before you can build larger ones. Okay. We'll put it near the temple then. We'll create like a monument area right here in the center. Where do I want this to look good? I don't know what the area of effect is doing though. Oh, I wonder if... Hold on. Isn't it something about like you place them near certain buildings based on your faith? But I don't know what we have. I'm gonna put this one right here. I'm not sure what this is affecting.
Kid.
We'll build them around the river and then build structures kind of near them just in case, since I don't know which one we've got. Because I forget certain Egyptian gods make your monuments buff different buildings, and that's why you want to build them near them. But since I don't know which ones we've got, other than Sekhmet, and I can't remember what hers is, I'm not really sure. Plus, we need faith generation badly. Can they worship this, or is it always just do it itself? It always. So that's what we need to be focusing on. We need to be focusing on monuments.
Kid.
I forget that's a big thing with Egypt, because I'm so used to just having the villagers just go to the temple. Monument of the Priests. We'll put this one over here just in case it's a military buff. Give at least one area, each area, some sort of monument to do something for them. Is that you, Mom? Man, I'll have to get her later and get some Pepsi. Put this one out here near the gold. Hold on. We'll put this one down here near. Wow, the gold's almost gone. Hello? You there? Oh, I need Pepsi, please. We'll put this one over here for this settlement just in
Kid.
case for new buildings. Oh no, I already read that. Let me reset chat, make sure chat hasn't broke. Yep. Hard not question if they ever do a Great War, Total War, how would you design? It's a good question. Shock troops, possibly. I'm trying to think what we were I mean, America's always been kind of known for Air Force in general, but I'm trying to think of like besides that, right? The British were the ones who made the armor during that time. I would say some sort of infantry build. I'm not sure actually with that one. That's a little different. We were just getting into what we were at that point. What? What? Oh, outside? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Image erect.
Monument to the Gods. This is the big one. Let's put this one in the center. This one deserves to be at the
Kid.
standpoint. And this will allow us to age up once we just have the resources, which we should be good after I build the Midgul stronghold. Oh.
Hro en Yawit.
Gold hasn't been used up just yet. We'll move them soon. We only need enough to beat the mission anyway, so we're not really going to oversell it. Alright, Monument of the Gods is done.
Gireg.
No more. Okay, good. Now with Midgul stronghold time. It's going right here to defend the other settlement, which we're gonna have you bless that and make it faster. Alright, get our Pharaoh helping out with this. It doesn't say what it does. Maybe it's one of these. Ah, rah. Target anywhere to make all of your villagers gather food from farms faster. Nice. Target anywhere on the map to turn day to night, improving the abilities of your myth units, increasing the rate at which your monuments generate favor received from Bast. Alright, well let's age up. Ooh. Now this is actually a really... Ooh. Okay, chat. I'm letting you decide this one. Do we continue with King Osiris since we are gathering the pieces of him right now? Or do we send his Lord of Vengeance and War in for him to secure the victory and rebuild him? Horus. Alright, yeah, that's my figured far. I say that one, alright. Well, I'll give it a minute or two, but since no one else seems to be kind of chiming in chat right now, I think we'll go with Horus, though, if no one else says anything. Plus, we'll get bird boys. We only get one bird boy with Osiris. With Horus, we get multiple bird boys. James would be proud. Although Horus is more of a corn bird. Like, he embraces the corn and the blood and the skulls. Hence, God of Vengeance. Also, Set's brother. And true father of a certain someone. Even though it is a little confusing that he ended up with a dog head. Even though he's technically not Set's son. But anyways. Let's see, Marines will always be our best troops. I do think, that's why I said infantry. I think it's infantry. As far as the Great War thing, I can't think of anything else really over it, other than mainly it would be the fact we get Marines and elite style infantry. Like, we've always had that kind of thing. That spec ops kind of boof, just send in the odd boys. Or the Space Marines, in some examples. Space Marines! I mean, literally, that's probably what it's going to be when we get to space. The U.S. did feel British and French purchase tanks. They did, but they didn't make them. That's what I meant. That wouldn't be their specialty, though. They'd have them, because allies, but yeah, I'm thinking Marines, shock troops, spec ops, like elite infantry type units you would get from that type of Total War for them. They would be the best at, like, fighting getting into the trenches and fighting and doing things like that, and, you know, their infantry would have probably better morale and survive more crazier stress-induced situations. That's what I'm thinking. I do think they would have that, too. Because that's one thing we've always had, or at least up until modern times. I'm glad we're going back towards that, but during World War I and World War II, yeah, that's one thing you can also say we can definitely say we had. We were self-sufficient as... So it was... That would also be a good play for a video game standpoint for the Great War, if there was a Total War Great War. Is they would have the better... would they have dark elf money? Or high elf money? Not dark elf. Would they have high elf money? I'm trying to compare them to like a Total War Warhammer example as well to make it easier for people who don't totally understand the game, what we're talking about. It'd either be dwarf-like money or it would be, maybe dwarf. Chaos dwarf even. Industry, right? Oh. So maybe that. But either way, it would definitely be very good. We were definitely the Chaos Dwarves in World War II. Once we started really getting self-sufficient, doing steel, making tanks and stuff for ourselves, we became the Chaos Dwarves. But as far as Great War is concerned, yeah, I'd say closer to elves. Still got that Muns, but more infantry important. Early war military BS, and not in a good way. But you will have to deal with, yeah, and that wasn't too good. I will say that. There were some oddities and some things that will also be its downfall, that will be probably its how you could say its negative thing that hurts your productive value. In some cases in video game standpoint, that would be pretty good. Which we're gonna go with Horus. Because no one else has chimed in right now, we're gonna go with Horus. Worship Horus. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh, done, yes. Bone bow. This was given to us by Sick Man. Chariot archers add more damage. Beautiful. Also, go ahead and grab that. I want all my buildings to be able to train fast. Let's also work on this. Slings of the Sun. Sekhmet as well. So slingers have more damage. Beautiful. And that. We're prepping for war. That won't happen until he's finished. Or until Horus is upgraded. Force of the Wind. Catapult enabled. Catapult enabled? What? Enables you to construct catapults and age early. And her breath imbues your scarabs and siege weapons with destructive power. Well, yes. Absolutely. I mean, we're going up in age anyways, but that would have been dope. So the speed run is to not age up. Remember how I told you we're not going to be doing the speed runs, but we're going to be kind of looking out to kind of see what they might be. So the speed run for this is to not age up, get all the relics, spend them a force, and with some early catapults that you can cheat through getting what we just got, and then boom, 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 boom. Done. Okay. You see, mid-war gets great, and late war is, yeah, that's just, I will say, yeah, I think early will be the weakness. I think that would be a great off stance. Their early game is dangerous, kind of like how Kislev feels a little bit. Which, I might not try something soon just to try it out. I don't want to jump into it completely barren and, not, naked into it, basically.
In wedge.
Okay, so now you guys are gonna build, where is it? This. Let's get our lighthouse so we can see across the water. It's gonna sit right
Kid.
here on the coast. Okay. Can we age up again? No, that's all done. And we have our tornado now. Now let's use Citadel. Select a town center belonging to you or an ally to transform into a mighty defensive citadel, which trains units and researchers' technologies faster. Boom. Nice. Okay, our building hit points, and we'll let this one get that because this one needs that. Alright, now for you guys, get back on that gold.
Kid.
Alright, lighthouse is almost done. Alright, there it is. So, yeah, okay, so we can't come in from this side. They're up on a mountain. So the entrance to them is right here. I see. This is why I built a dock. Because we got to keep in mind that the dock is going to be very important to us. This also must be a path to it this way. Not really sure what leads up here. We'll have to see. There's actually, oh, and we already got our turtle. Let's use him to scout. Oh, hello.
Caillou.
Hold on. These will join us if we go past them. Oh, we forgot to bring
These towers will help defend the harbor while you build a navy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we can build the navy in here for safety. Yeah. It's like a nestled-in little zone that we keep control of ourselves. Okay. Anything back here? Any secret relics hiding that can only be gotten to by a transport boat? It does seem like maybe. Yep. That happens a lot. Alright. What is that? I'll have to see when we get over there. Okay. Head back over here, bud. You're gonna become part of the fleet. First, let's get a transport boat, because they need to take... Actually, no. Let's get transport fish. Better that way.
Into you. You e air.
We got our transport fish up and running.
Energetic.
Villagers regenerate hit points. That's not
You
too
eat
good,
high
to be
you.
fair. Let's see what else is over here.
Irefer. Tai you.
What? Whoa. Okay, that's gonna take a
air.
minute. Wow. Okay. Maybe I should build a temple right here just because now I kind of need
Into.
another temple? Plus, that's a long way to go for her, so I'm just
Kid.
gonna put it right there out of convenience so she can drop it off at the coast. That is hilarious. Oh, we can't reassign that yet. Okay.
Gereg.
For now, we'll take it over to this one while that was being built. Share them among them. That's why I like that there's two different ways to play this game, and I appreciate that because a lot of the older RTSs were all about the speed runs in some ways, but this game shows you that there's two ways to do this. You can just get the blob going, do the speed run tactic, and get in there, get done, and be done. Get the speed run time, be the fastest. Or you can explore and become the most overpowered piece of crud ever to exist because you found all the hidden relics around the map.
Into
Which to me is better.
Fair.
At least because it's more fun. Heroes do more damage than
Tie
Myth
you.
units. Alright, well that's now there, so she can get into that. I also think it's time to build a secondary tower here, just in case. We're worried they could attack from here and spill out over here, so we might want to put some towers down there in a minute. Alright. Alright, so now what we want to do is we're going to want some Avengers. We'll make 5 of them. 3 Sphinxes. Actually, I shouldn't do that here. I should do that here. And then do 2 of those there. 2 of those there. Start getting our population up while we're doing that in the background. Where is
Gereg. Ak.
Nice. Hierarchus Sphinx. I cannot never say it right. I'd have to hear it.
Wedge.
I haven't heard it in so long how it's said. Alright, let's create an
Kid.
emergency fallback for the gold area. I think I'm just gonna make a bunch of houses and another farm over here at some point once we run out of gold. Oh, nice. These two clear cut the farms. Nice. Here, there's a gold mine here. Let's
Kid.
take advantage of that.
Wedge. Kid. Gireg. Kid.
This is just in case I decide to come to shore over here. Upgrade all of that. Get rid of these. Oh, one of you actually made me an adventurer. Okay. Well, come to the front. Okay. Now for you, let's get that. Oops. Get two of you.
Wedge.
Okay, that should be fine. We're at the max houses, so. Oh, whoa. Okay. So yeah, that's why that's not really defendable. Okay. So we're just gonna want another tower over here then.
Kid.
Just in case they come ashore on the side, we'll know. So we're at the max population we can have, so we gotta be careful of what we're summoning.
Inage. Erect.
Alright, we need an armory. The armory should be
Kid.
back here in the main city. That gets it for all of them. Okay. Alright, that's being produced. Getting our siege equipment up. Armory will be done soon. Alright. Are there any other myth units I didn't get? No. It's just military and stuff like that now. So where's the mid call? You have the cavalry, so we need to set you to here. Get that. You probably have one as well. Yep. Get that. And then Axe of Vengeance. Horse increases the attack of Axemen as they lose HP and makes them stronger against buildings. Yes. Greatest of the 50. Horus appoints military commanders, increasing infantry hit points. Okay. Spear of Horus. Horus lends spearmen his weapon in retribution, increasing their attack and allowing them to counter cavalry more effectively. Alright. Very good. Very, very, very good. That's why we needed to get all that wood. They're doing fine getting the wood. Now it's time to upgrade our armor. Where's our Pharaoh? I'm gonna bring him back here.
In a
for now.
jirek.
He needs to come help make that faster. Does the lighthouse have any upgrades? No.
Gireg.
Pretty sure that's everything now. The market's the only thing, and I'll put it
Kid.
back here as well. Just so we have the upgrade for it. Wait for them to all turn silver, and I'm gonna upgrade all three of them at the same time again. Gold's almost gone. We'll have to make do with what we have soon. Is there one up here? No. Just zebras and stuff. Oh yeah, the other relic.
Energetic.
Here's attack
Here,
of
fair.
naval units, myth units, all action damage. Oh, naval myth units. Ah, like the turtle and stuff. What's the other one? Villages farm faster. Ooh, I should have grabbed that one first, but oh well. Okay. Do that so the market exchange rates are better. Just because I have to start buying or selling stuff for gold and stuff like that. Because meat is eternal. We can keep that going forever. Let's just get flood control while we're thinking about it. I actually think it's time to move these two down here now.
And you. Kid.
Just because.
In which kids?
I think there's no point in being up here, having these up here anymore. Just in case we need more buildings or something right here. Alright.
Caillou. Arc.
Alright. There's no more upgrades here. Plus I have that ability from Raw to be able to make them gather it faster. Alright, let me bring
Rig,
gold
UIR,
crew over here.
Baya,
Help finish this off. Alright.
Image erect.
I think we've made everything at this point. So now it's just finishing the defenses. So let's guard our settlement over here and our lighthouse.
Kid.
And we'll be ready to let these guys go do whatever. They can either go farming or go add to the wood collectors, which is what I probably will do, since wood is behind the most. Which we should upgrade that.
And which
We have to
tayo
bring these guys back down here so we can make this
ayo
army one whole
refer.
unit. Alright.
In wedge. Irefer.
Grab the final
UER.
relic.
Irefer.
Alright, now let's start working on the Navy. Transport is gonna be up here for now, so, oh no, they're gonna be back here. I'm gonna put Navy in the dead center right there with the turtles. Wait for him to get there. So like right here. This side is only gonna be for reserve fleets.
Gereg. UER.
Alright.
Tayu. UER.
Our units are really beefed up. To be fair, what we have right now probably would win. Like, we would probably win in a heartbeat right now.
UIR ayo refer.
But I do want to add some more stuff to it, so let's... We've got 6 camel cows. There's no chariots. That's what we should probably get. Or elephant riders, but we've got so many myth units, I don't know if we really want to waste on elephants, so... Let's get like... Oops. Okay, 8 I guess. Ooh, those are quite hefty. We'll just get that many, whatever that is, that'll be enough. I want to get a couple more scarabs. Oops. Just because scarabs are our main melee siege. Oh, we might not be able to do that actually. I might have already did too much with that. Okay, well, we'll be at max now at least. Oh, but wait, we need a navy, don't we?
Get it.
Alright, one Birdman, I'm sorry, you gotta go. Yeah, I also gotta cancel all these, hold on. Because I didn't think about that, I don't have no,
Into you.
Navy doing it that way. At all. Don't want to get rid of another one of you. Another one of you then. Alright. Because we need some Navy. Let's get that to upgrade the Navy faster. we're gonna want you, 2 of you, 3 of you, and I don't know if we have enough. I don't think we do. How many can you hold? Hold on, I gotta select the army
Greek.
to see that. 20. This army is how big? Yeah, we need 2. Actually, we need 3. Ooh. So my military is not going to be able to make it in one pass with transport. Well, all the gold
Gehrig.
is gone. So hold on, here's what I'm going to do. Sad as this may be, what I'm about to do, I kind of have to now. Got a little overzealous. This is why you gotta be careful how many
Ro and Yawit.
villagers you bring in. Okay. Alright, we're over the amount again. That would hopefully be enough ships, but now we would need transport, yeah. We need 1 population for it. 3 for that. That's why it's hurting us, because these things are worth less. So what I could do is get rid of 1 fish for 2 boats. I forget how many these carry. Doesn't say on them, which sucks. How much population are you worth? 3. Let's do 1 less catapult, because there's 3 of you, right? There is. Let's pull them out real quick so I can see them. Get rid of 1. And we need... Let's see if a transport ship is enough. Let's see if it's the same amount.
Into you.
Inito.
It's more. Means these fish aren't really worth it. I'll get rid of 1. So.
Into you.
Because, okay, so that's 20 plus
Gehrig.
35, right? Hold on.
And which?
I mean, with that, I can just do this and get 1 more transport ship, and then we could get more units. I'm trying to think, should I get my Avenger back or get more infantry? I don't know if we have enough infantry per se. Is the issue. Alright, now we have enough transport ships. Also fleet. We should consider, do we need to upgrade our fleet anymore? So 173. It would be just enough to get 2 heavy melee warships. But I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's as good as just getting another cabinet and another war barge. Or war turtle. Oh, no, they're worth more. I think our main unit is probably big enough overall, as long as we attack first and do the right things. We might have to resupply once. Because realistically, how much is infantry per person? So, 2, 2, 2, 2. So they're all 2s. We do have a lot of upgrades for infantry, though. That's the thing, right? I think we're going to get more infantry. So, how many are in here? There's 5 spearmen, 10 axemen. So 3 more spearmen, 4 more axemen. I don't know if we can afford that many. I don't think we can. No. So 2 more spearmen, 1 more axeman. Also. No, it filled up. Okay.
Into you. UEF. EU refer.
What, 3 again? If I drop you off and replace you with another boat, it gives me a little bit back for another one. Yeah, I just don't think these fish are worth it. Maybe they can attack us, the difference is, yeah, they can, but we don't need them. Let's get our transport boat.
Gehrig. Into you.
Nice, alright.
Enito.
51 should be plenty.
Tayo. Ayo refer.
That should be a force to reckon with.
Tayo.
Alright, now is the first step. Now we attack with the
Into you.
Navy.
Gehrig.
And we're gonna see if this Navy's strong enough. So we could hit from here. That looks like the shortest route. Let's do that. Okay, no defenses? What? Seems like BS. Okay.
We should scout Kemset's whole island before we choose our beachhead.
I have already chosen my beachhead.
Into you. In wedge. In Garrett.
Alright, let me wait till this other ship gets over here. How big is our army? I didn't mean to do that.
And which?
51. So I think if you have... Let's try this.
Into you.
Oh, what did I just do? Yep, thought so.
Garrick.
That allowed us to get another siege ship. Surprised there's no upgrades, but I guess we didn't. That would be more Greece. Greece that has the better navy in that aspect. Let's see. There should be one research called Wall Street that gives plus 100% to all economy buildings, but 40%, but for negative 40 happiness to every settlement. Besides New York, nah, I gotta make it worth it. 300% to make it even more enticing. That is quite a lot. That you would only do that if you're gonna go into war mode.
Into
War
you.
mode. Oh, my shadows. So this side, there's no way up.
Garrick.
Nice.
Into you.
I got those sending like infantry to deal with this. Oh, they took out a boat. Okay. Thing is, I don't know what the right path is because I can't see that deep inland to be fair. I feel like this area right here is the main area though. Oh, okay, calves. Let the Navy take them out. Send out their beach numbers. Okay, so this definitely the side we want to come in on from over here. We're gonna have to open up this right here. My thing is, what's over here? Hold on. I'm quite curious. I want to see what this is first. Why is there a whole, like, big black area that's not where the objective is? There's another island possibly down here? Maybe it's a secondary island if you want more resources. Be no need for us to get it, but that would be cool. Interesting. So yeah, come over here, whatever that is. Let's get troops loaded up and ready to go.
Inito. UIR. You refer. Tayo.
In which.
Oh. There is a small little secondary island with golden shit on it.
Garrick.
Oh, there's an idol down there too. Oh, okay. Whoa. Shoot, we might have to bring her over here for just a second then. While we have these guys go finish off opening this area up. It's across from where the pillars were, but there was nowhere to cross. Oh, maybe it was that way. Hold on.
Direct. Refer.
Khufu, you can go do this.
Ak. Tayo.
Be no danger there, unless Amon Ra has to. Oh no, Amon Ra has to do it.
Greek. Inito.
Hold on, I gotta unload the boat.
In which.
Caillou. Ak. Tayu.
Into you.
Oh, there's 2 more idols. Wow. Increases soldier range. I can't see the other one. Wow.
Gereg. UIR. Ak. Irefer. UIR. Ak. UIR. Ak.
We will have to bring a boat down for her to cross these little islands.
UIR. Ak. UIR.
Ah,
Irefer.
there's a whole
UIR.
hidden little settlement back here.
Ak. Irefer. Ak.
Wow. Well, it gives us more population though.
Irefer.
So you can actually make a bigger army.
UIR. Ak. Irefer. Ak. Tayu. UIR. Ak. UIR. Irefer. Ak. UIR.
Ah, there's the reserve gold.
Irefer. Ak.
So this little island has a little bit of
UER.
everything on it.
Irefer.
Okay, what is this? Increases tower attack. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do with these
Benito.
three little people here. They're gonna build a temple where that's gonna be.
Inejerek. Tayu. UIR. Ak.
We're gonna build a temple right here. To honor the sun god. There we
Kings.
go. Alright, Ra's gonna have a temple down here as well. It'll take them a minute to build that up. Let's go check our fleet
Garrick.
situation. There isn't really too much more for them to see. Come attack this. Take that out. Then we'll go back around to the other side. Oh, I need to bring a transport vessel over here real quick.
In which.
Come here. Find your way over there.
Gereg. Irefer. Tayu.
Kids.
little boat's on its way.
Into you.
Into you. Irrefer.
Drop that
You
off.
er. Tai you.
Round of Circuit. Oh,
Gehrig.
they actually had a unit out here.
Caillou.
Into you.
So, oh, nice. That took over that island so we can see it. Take her around the edges here. Just to be safe, there's not anything needs to be taken control over. No, okay. So put her on that island right there.
En wedge.
Into you. You er. Ark.
Nafe's bow. We found Nafe's bow.
Into you.
Energetic. Irrefer. Tai you.
Alright, let me send the boat back up there. With her
Good.
on it, it'd be faster. Alright, you were to come back over here.
EU refer.
You guys are gonna build your own dock. So you may have a way of distributing
Okay.
your boats. Alright, there we go. That should be good for that little area. Let me get 3 people out here extra. There we go. The rest is going to troops. Alright, we've cleared out the beachhead. This is where we're landing.
En wedge.
Seems to be a gate there.
Into you.
Gehrig. Ark.
Alright. Now let's add more troops. Three more of those. Let's get some slingers. If we can, we'll see.
Energetic.
MTO.
Oh, the wood's been cut down in this area, alright.
Kid.
Yeah, we can use some more slingers. Oops, probably can't get that many, but that's fine. Not yet. Alright.
In which EU refer into you. Into you. Garrick.
Move y'all over there for a second. So you don't get added to this military.
And which
63. 35 plus 35. That's 60. No, 70. So it should be good.
Greek
I keep hitting the wrong button.
Enito.
And there it is. Alright, they're ready to go. We are clear for transport. Let me mark them on
In which?
my... Here we go. You want to come down here for safety and then push in. We take the piece of Osiris! We reunite the king of Egypt! Okay, can someone explain to me why Gaijin has a 20,000 gold guard bag? That's probably for April Fools, but part of me wonders is that slightly a jab. Because there is a developer's Russian. But, you know.
Into you. Garrick.
Here, actually let him off down here. Safer that way.
And which are you refer?
And just like that,
UIS. Tayo. UIS.
we are here for war! Time to smash Kemset's fortress island and reclaim a piece of the king. My brain mounted right there.
Are you refer?
Siege! Oh, there's a settlement right there.
UIS.
Oh, that poor Scorpion King, dude. Oh yeah, alright, going
Are you
in.
refer? Tayo. Are you refer? Tayo. Are you refer? UIR. Tayo.
Keep moving forward.
Where are you hiding, Kemsit?
Are you refer?
She went in there and destroyed both those Nubians.
Tayo. Are you refer? Tayo.
Destroy the temples to set. Oh, what?
Are you refer? UIR. Tayo.
Oh, what that was, but I brought it down. I don't know what it was gonna do, but it wasn't getting away, whatever it was.
Are you refer? Tayo.
We have reached the Osiris box. Now, where is my enemy?
Nice! You are victorious! Nice, nice.
I have something I've been meaning to give you since you first ran from me at the temple, Kemset.
I'd like nothing better than to drain your blood into the sand, Amanra. But I cannot waste time with you now.
I shot that down. How is he getting out of here? That thing is not here. So that was him
Coward.
escaping.
Your time will come.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's April Fools. This is why I love April, because April's when everybody does the hilarious stuff. That's when people take more chances. All right, let's go back. It's already 6:39. Sadly, I knew we probably wouldn't get both done today. Chiron and some new allies must recover the third Osiris feast from within a great. Oh! That was the last Egyptian one. That's not Egypt. But it shows you how far the pieces are going. That means we're about to see somebody join this fight now. James's favorite is about to join in. We're about to be raided by some Vikings. Interesting. Okay. I actually think I might call it that, A Long Way From Home. That's a good title. And that's a... and I'm very excited because I'm pretty sure that's what that means, right? I think this was the first time that you get to see them. I don't remember if we get to use them or if they're just allies. That I don't remember. We might just name it part 2 of this because this is Pieces of the Pharaoh is what I'm calling this. I think we'll just name it part 2 and we'll save a Viking. As cool as I like that title, just since we are still fighting for the third piece of Osiris, I don't want to break the stride of the theme here. So we'll call it that, and we'll come up with a Viking title for the next one after that. It's the Department of Golden Eagles. I like it. That's good. See? That's how you make good April Fool's jokes. That's well hearted. Bet you he would laugh at that. If a certain somebody saw it, he was like, I like that. Like I said, people forgot how to be lighthearted. And so that's good. I'm glad to see that. So we'll save that for next episode. A Long Way From Home. Nice. I am very excited. We're over halfway now. We just reached over the 54% point. I think the rest are going to start happening pretty quickly. I need to get another day where I start early enough where we can blow through like 3 different missions to get it to finish it off completely and start getting into it really far into it. But we're doing really good at the moment. We're doing really good. I've missed all of these little story missions. It's good to be redoing them all and getting to go through it all again, getting to see all the different factions. In the background at some point we will do Pillars of the Gods, just because I want to see who this follows. Since the Chinese faction wasn't really a faction in the mythology for it, wasn't really a thing in the original Age of Mythology. I've never seen this campaign, so this campaign would be new even to me. So I'd have no idea what to expect with this campaign. So, whereas this one, there's a lot of instinct with a lot of these levels where I'm slightly remembering, it's this one, we got to do this. Kind of thing. So Norse went back in time to raid Egyptian treasures. They're not enemies in this universe. Remember, in this universe, things are different. In this universe, things didn't go the way that they did in real life because the gods actually exist. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that they are physically a thing and interact with humans directly. So in this universe, things are like an alternate reality. I mean, Atlantis is a thing. Atlantis never went under the ocean. It exists alongside of Greece and Rome. That's why I think they're all one faction in this game, because they're unified through Atlantis. Whereas that does not, does not happen, or is not a thing in real life. So, so same thing with the weird Viking situation and how that's going to play out. You'll see. It actually does a decent job of explaining why they're there, even though, once again, it's only because this universe is so different from reality. Because, like I said, they're technically allies, or at least they're allies with the Greeks. We'll see. Because they end up allying with the Carcantos for some reason. I can't remember why or what causes it. And I do think this is the beginning level stage of that. Like, we're about to be at the end of the Egyptian campaign part of this story, and we're about to go into the Norse one soon. Into the Viking one. Which we'll have to learn another extra special mechanic, because I think their faction is also slightly different. Like, you know how faith is built through monuments with the Egyptians, and none of their buildings cost wood and food and all that, just gold. I think with the Norse, the workers are less important, or they're more important. I can't remember. Like, they either become the units or something. It's something I can't remember exactly. They're very unique. So we're going to have to learn them all over again. Shame no Celtic mythology faction. Agreed. It is. That is a big shame. I would love to see that in a game like this. That would be fun. I do think this game, even as old as it is, still misses slightly a trope with the developers or publishers even not taking advantage of. This game would have been a good game just to throw all the different little factions and mythologies in, kind of like Smite used to be for. To kind of see what it's like to play as them and see how they play and what their units are like and the different god choices and powers and units they give you myth-wise and things like that, and little passives and bonuses and upgrades they give. It would have been cool to see some stuff like that. Celtic and many others. I mean, Japan's not in here either. I mean, China is, unless it ends up being both, but I don't think it is. I think that faction, that dragon faction, is only China. I could be wrong about that though. Because since the Greece one is the predominant one, even though Rome and technically all that is hidden in behind it, it is the predominant choice one for this game for that culture. So I assume if they did that, they'd do the same thing. But we'll see. I assume in that case it's just Chinese. So that means technically there's no Japan, there's no Celtic, there's no Hindu, there's no Hindu, there's no, what is the other one? My brains aren't thinking all of them right now. My brain, what's the other one I'm missing? My brain. Oh well, yeah. Basically there's plenty. Gotta be careful with one of them since there's only one choice. That's true. That's just the one I think you're talking about. There's plenty to go off of. They would never have to do that though. That one would just not be in there. It's more likely the safe choice. Because like I said, when it comes to a cultural, like they would have to look at it as a mass culture thing. Like they did with Greece and Rome, since they worship technically the same gods. They not even not believe in them in the exact same way, Rome and Greece. But that's probably why the developers, when they ultimately originally made this game, did not separate the two of them. Because essentially, culturally, it was the same. So they probably use that same rule of thumb applying towards the other cultures who have the same difference, where they worship the same gods technically, but they see them differently and may have different names. So, but they're at the core base, at the heart of what the god is, it's probably the same thing. So they'd probably have to do it like that to make it fair. That's true. Central America would be an interesting one too. There's a lot of unsung gods in that one that people don't talk about. Oh, there's a lot of unsung gods in the American Indian culture, the original the original American natives. They have so many gods like that. People don't understand like how many there are. They're mostly animal-like gods, but that really, I mean, Egypt's can be said that they're the same way. There's just more humanoid, but but technically there's a ton. There's so many different like I feel like forgotten pantheons that don't get a lot of love in video games in any way. That also would probably have some really cool like stories and stuff. But from just a cool faction standpoint, a lot of them would work. Age of Empires kind of did this, but it didn't do the god side, right? It did touch on, it did technically have the Iroquois and the Sioux and all that, but it didn't have like their beliefs, right? So that would be a thing that this game I think should have slightly done. Would have been cool. Rome been around for too long that they had a lot of gods until they only had one. That's true, but that's how all, well, that's because it ended up becoming the Roman Catholic belief. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and then it ended up being the one. Um, but really, to be fair, before that, but I agree with you on that. They were around long enough that they kind of switched almost way pantheons twice in a way. If you think about it, or created new ones, you could say. So they were around for a long time, both for good and bad. There we go. Well, the stream seems to be lagging a little bit, so I'm actually gonna probably, after I read this, what Farseer says, I'm probably wrap it up here in it. Roman Orthodoxy was in the eastern, while the West was more. That makes sense. West, it's weird. The West always ends up in it for good or bad. Sometimes not always for the best. We might have actually proven that where I live in real life today in modern society. But sometimes the East is the one with the answers more than the West. Sometimes the South is the answer with the one with the more of the true answer than the North. But sometimes, not always, and not always the other way either. But definitely made a swap in that one. But overall, it does seem like most cultures do end up having a difference between the west side and the east side of the culture, whether it be like on a mass governmental scale or even just in a neighborhood in a way. And it's like just kind of it's the way it is sometimes. We humans are weird creatures. And sometimes we shift completely because we realize, oh no, that didn't work. We're not doing that anymore. Oh man. See, the Western Empire tried to go back to the Greek gods. Yeah. The Eastern said hell no and kicked the Western Empire's ass. Yeah. Which, once again, in a way, it was probably a good thing to a certain extent, but in a way, it also could have made, in a way, maybe took something slightly away from us. I don't know. There's a lot of double-edged swords that I don't think we appreciate about our history as a species that made us what we are. We talked about this. We're not going to go deeply into this like we did last time, but we talked about that in the last episode a little bit with Tam King and many other things. Like I've talked about this Tam King in general in multiple times. Just we definitely forgot something as a species, and I'm not talking about necessarily the beliefs. Just as a culture, we might have tried to push too hard in some areas to almost modernize our kind, and because of that, it has caused some loops and some dynamic issues that have occurred many years later and generations later. I say years, generations. Many generations later, that we're now going, crap. Maybe that wasn't exactly what we should have done. We should have needed something a little in the middle. Oopsies. But, like I said, humans are weird. But one thing you can count on most of the time, unless we all end up destroying ourselves, we always find a way to come back around from it and go, ooh, no, 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 no. That's not it. Let's get rid of that. That wasn't the right choice. At least for now. That kind of led to the collapse of the Western Empire because the East killed all their best legions in the war. That's true. Like I said, everything has a lead somewhere. Even the rabbit hole down into Wonderland. Where the Red Queen resides. No. But alright, everyone. I'm going to wrap it up here before it gets too late so I can get some food. It is already almost 7. I was trying to end this by 6:30. I did not realize we already blew past that pretty fast. So we're going to end it here. The East was trying to save the West for a while until they eventually gave up and let them die. Yeah, didn't realize that they caused their own demise. Like, it's like, yeah, now you have to defend them because you wounded them so bad that they can't defend themselves now without you. So without a unified Rome, you basically cut off one of your own limbs doing that. We almost did that here. Just because of how things were getting. But either way. Here or there, or neither there. But I wish y'all a good one, and the sun is like coming in the window now. And I wish Farseer, my moderator, the best, and I hope you're having a good one, Farseer, and big shout out to Farseer as well as my moderator. And big shout out to everyone watching in the background for tonight's stream of Age of Mythology as we continue to gather the pieces of Osiris, the pieces of the Pharaoh, soon to meet our new allies in our next battle, hopefully. It's the battle I think it is. And add a bit of cold and winter to our warfare. But I hope you all enjoyed, and Farser said, by or not, the East was the wealthier empire, so they were doing something right. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, but then again, I guess. But then again, can you argue, did that wealth win them in the end? Look what they became later on in the years. And, like, sure, you could argue maybe we use that strategy today is where I live. But even then, as we're now seeing with new changing of leaderships and things, and certain things being changed, maybe it wasn't all for the good that we took some things away. I do think we imbalanced our pathing and a little bit as a species and kind of threw ourselves into a chaotic flux a little bit. Some things you have to take it slow, otherwise it's going to get rejected entirely and be thrown off the boat, which is what kind of happened. And it's not good, and it's good and bad too, so not necessarily good that it does just get thrown off the boat either. It's just, if you push too hard in some areas, sometimes it will push back, and it will push back with double and triple the force because it has more people to push with. So, that's just anything, sadly. But, either way, big shout out to everyone listening, even though they had even more dangerous enemy at their border. That's true, they did. And again, sometimes greed is foolishness. And sometimes they're the same thing. But anyways, I hope y'all all enjoyed. And peace and love to everyone. To the sun blinding me. Peace and love to everyone watching the stream. And thank you for joining in tonight. I hope y'all all enjoyed. And I will see you all tomorrow for our continuation of this insanity as we enter into our winter warfare tactics and embrace our Viking bloodlines that exist in us all almost at this point. The Vikings did a lot. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, I wish you all the best, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace and love, everyone. Bye! Bye, Fuzzer. Bye, everybody.